Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, be grateful if you can hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Help this channel grow. We're nearly at the 200 subscriber mark. I'd be grateful if you can help me grow this channel. So in this video, we're going to be doing the top 10 worst movies of 2024. This is my opinion. This is a list that I've come up with for all the bad films that have come out in theatre or wherever else I've been able to watch them for 2024. In a previous video, I did a top 10 best movies of 2024. There were some good films in that list. Unfortunately, when you get some good films, you do get some bad films and some really stinkers that you think, why was that ever allowed to be made? So again, this is my top 10 worst movies of 2024. If you haven't watched my other top 10 best films, it is on my channel. Go and check it out. So here we go. The top 10 worst movies of 2024. As I say, this is my opinion. This is not an attack on you. If you've loved any of these movies in this list, I celebrate it with you. I hope you had a wonderful time with them, but for me it didn't work, okay, and that is why they put in my top 10. As I said, we've had loads of films this year that have not been so good, but these have entered in my top 10. So, like a professional, I've wrote it down. So number 10 is RedOne, an American saga starring Kevin Costner. This film was so bad, even the sequel got cancelled. Because I think there was supposed to be another two, and they've never bothered. The second one was supposed to come out a couple of weeks after the original. And this was made on the back of Yellowstone, which I haven't had a chance to see yet, but I know Yellowstone is quite a good series. RedOne American Saga has the great Kevin Costner in it. Unfortunately, even that couldn't save it. This movie was so bad, it was one of those films that I was getting ready to walk out the theatre with, and I think I fell asleep part through it. So, that tells you how bad a film is if you fall asleep through it. But hey, as I say, number 10 is RedOne, an American Saga. So yeah, that's number 10. Number 9, The Crow. Now, The Crow was the trailers that I saw of The Crow. Now, I only saw them in the theatre. I didn't see them on any marketing or online. I saw them in theatre when I watched one of the films. I think it was in front of Alien Romulus, if I can remember rightly. One of them films. The trailers looked interesting. It looked really cool. The guy that was playing the Crow, I forget his name now, Bill. There's no way I'm going to pronounce his name. I'll probably screw it up. But it looked really interesting. The plot looked okay. The film, however, was bloody awful. Again, this was another wasted opportunity to make a great film. What it's supposed to have been, but it wasn't. And unfortunately, this movie was on the back of the original. Again, I've never seen the original. Obviously, we know the tragic circumstances for the main lead, Brandon Lee. So I think this one was made on the back of that, and everyone thought it was going to be really successful. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I think it flopped at the box office. It made hardly any money, and not many people went to see it. So The Crow is at number 9. Number 8, no surprise here. I absolutely hated this film, and 3 actors that were in it couldn't even save it, and that's RedOne, with The Rock, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons in this, about Santa who has a bodyguard, and he goes missing. They have to go and find him. This movie was a waste of time. It was awful. That's why it's in number 8. I should have waited, and I waited money to go and see this in the movie theatre. I should have waited and watching it for nothing on Amazon because it's there now. Like I said, even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Dwayne Johnson, J.K. Simmons and Chris Evans couldn't even save it. The storyline was a bit ridiculous and the whole thing was ridiculous. And that's why RedOne is in at number 8. Number 7 on my list is Lift. The Netflix action thriller with Kevin Hart, and it's been that long since I watched it, I've forgotten what it was about. Oh, that's it. He was like this guy that went out and did mercenary stuff, if I remember rightly. But this film, again, was awful. Kevin Hart tried to be a comedic actor and a serious actor in this, and it didn't work. And again, it was just a complete waste of time. I'm glad I didn't have to go and pay for this one. Well, I did really, because I've got Netflix and it's on Netflix, but you know what I mean. I'm glad I didn't have to go to the movie theatre and pay for this, because this would have been really bad. So, the only good highlight thing that I can put on this film is that he had Kevin Hart, and some parts he was funny. In other parts, he was trying to be serious and he didn't work. So that's why Lift is at number 7. Right, number 6 on my list, and I hate to say this is on my list because normally the guy in it, I'm trying to think of his name, James McAvoy. He's in this, and yes, it's Speak No Evil. The only highlight of this film I can think of was James McAvoy's performance as a nutcase in this, or a psycho, whatever, but the rest of it was ridiculous. The wife and the couple that's in it, there was no chemistry between them. I understand why they were arguing all the time, and the plot of it was just unreal, really, and I got bored with this. The only thing that kept me going watching this film, I did pay to go see this at the theatre, was James McAvoy's performance. And unfortunately, it wasn't that great of a film. As I say, the only highlight of this film was James McAvoy when his split personality in this film. I thought that was great. I forgot who else was in it now. But so yeah, Speak No Evil is at number 6. Now, at number 5, we're coming to our top 5 now. Number 5 is Atlas with Jennifer Lopez. I think this tries to be something. For me, this looked like cross with me personally. It was like Pacific Rim meets Star Wars or something like that. This movie again was ridiculous. I think the only highlight for this for some people was seeing Jennifer Lopez in a movie again. Even she couldn't save it. I wonder if she got quite a big few quid for it. But Atlas, it didn't do it for me. I was bored. In fact, I stopped it and carried on watching it the next night. Thankfully I did have to pay for that because that was on Netflix. And yeah, unfortunately, I struggled to get into it. I really, really did. I don't know if anybody else did. Obviously, my review for the film is up. Go and check that out. I'm sure I said this was a waste of time, if I remember rightly. And the story was just all over the place. And again, I'm glad I didn't have to pay to go into a movie theatre to see it. I was able to watch it on Netflix. Number 4 on my list is Madam Web. Now, Madam Web was okay a little bit, but the storyline again, Dakota Johnson did okay. I forget the girl's name now. Sydney Sweeney, she was great, but everything else in it was a waste of time. if you're going to put a Spider-Man-like character in it, why don't you put Spider-Man in it? Whether it's Andrew Garfield, I think they were planning on doing that, but they didn't want to. So I've heard, I don't know whether that's true. So, yeah, Madam Web, again, this movie had potential. It looked good from the trailer, but going to watch it, it was okay. Dakota Johnson did what she was able to do with this film. I thought she did alright. Like I said, Sydney Sweeney, she did great in her role. I mean, she's had quite a good 2024. She's been in a lot of movies, Sydney Sweeney. But other than that, I wouldn't buy it, and I wouldn't watch this movie again. I think it's one of those films where if it's on in the background, you'll probably watch it, but it's not something that, oh, it's on Netflix, let's go and watch it. No, for me, it's not one of them. It's one of them that it didn't do it for me. Now, if it worked for you, I applaud you and say, well done, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But for me, it didn't work. Okay, so number 4 was Madam Web. Now we're coming into the top 3. Now the top 3 has changed over the last couple of weeks because some of these three films were swapped around quite a few times, and which was worse and which wasn't. But at number 3, the top worst movies of 2024 is Borderlands. Now, Borderlands, from what I understand, pissed a lot of the fans off. Now, I played some of the game. I'm not a huge Borderlands fan of the games, but I have seen them. But I know people who played them, and I've got my brother. He plays the game, and he said this movie was nowhere near nowhere like to the game. This movie was its own thing. Despite the great cast in it, it couldn't help it. Like you had Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart. I'm trying to think the young girl. I forgot who the young girl is. And the villain in it, he was a waste of time. And so yeah, Borderlands didn't work for me. And from what I gathered, it pissed a lot of the Borderlands fans of the game off, and I think it also shat itself in the box office as well. I don't think it made any money. In fact, I think it lost money as well on a big budget, especially when you've got people like Kate Blanchett in the film, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, and a few others in this film. So yeah, Borderlands was my number 3, but was in my 3rd of my top 10 worst movies of 2024. Now we come to 1 and 2. Now these two I've swapped around a few times the last couple of days. That's why this video is a little bit late. And I'm going to stick with this. This may upset a lot of people, may not. But hey, this is my opinion. This is how I see the films. And yeah. So number 2 for me, considering I really enjoyed the first one, right, and I thought Joaquin Phoenix played an excellent role as Joker in the first movie. You've got it right. The number 2 worst film of the year is Joker 2. Now, I'm not taking away Joaquin Phoenix's performance in this, Joker 2, and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I thought they worked well. For me, the story around it didn't work for me. And I think that's I think that was the problem with a lot of people that went to see this film. It was boring, it was dull. I think we were all expecting to see the Joker, but it wasn't. We got a courtroom drama because obviously the events of the first one, and then most of the time he was in Arkham Asylum hooking up a relationship with Harley Quinn. So for me, this was quite disappointing to go and watch. Excuse me. Like I said, I've seen the first one. I thought the first one was For me, the first one wasn't a spectacular movie, but it was enjoyable, and Joaquin Phoenix nailed that character pretty well. And that's why I enjoyed the first one. Coming into the second one, I thought we were going to get the same stuff. It would have been nice to see Lady Gaga's version of Harley Quinn, but we hardly got that, really. We got the build-up to their relationship, and then the court scene, and then most of the time in Arkham. So, film number 2 on my list is Joker 2 of the worst films of 2024. Now, at number 1, this is a late entry, and it only come out a few weeks ago, and this is one of the worst movies ever made, and it's so bad that even Sony have given up on the mini-universe, and of course it is Craven the Hunter. Now, I did a review of Craven the Hunter a few weeks ago when it came out. I thought Aaron Johnson Taylor did okay, but the rest of it was crap. The CGI on it was bad. The only positive thing was that chase through the streets of London with the cars and where he's trying to hold on to the helicopter. The rest of it was all garbage. It was all over the place. Apart from me personally, I liked the flashback to when he was a kid and how he got the power, on how he got his powers, but on how he got his powers, I don't know if that's the same way he gets him in the comic book. I haven't read Craven the Hunter in a comic book, so you'll have to let us know in the comment section below if it's more or less the same. But how he gets his powers in this movie was really ridiculous. Out of nowhere, this girl has got a potion off her gran that can save his life. What the Anyway, so Craven Hunter, for me, is number 1 for worst film of the 2024. I mean, this list comprises of 10, but I could have put a lot more on there if I did a lot more. For me, it's one of them things, you get some good movies, you get some bad, but these are my top 10 worst films of 2024. But let us know what you think, let us know in the comment section below. Are my top 10 worst films of 2024 the same as yours, or have you got a different list? I'd really be interested to see what your list is, so leave them in the comment section below on what your list is. It'd be great for some feedback. And yeah, so until next time, guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Be very grateful to help this channel grow. Also, later, look out for my Squid Game Season 2 review. That'll be coming out a bit later. Other than that, I wish you all well, and I'll see you again soon. Leave some comments in the comment section below. I do get back to them. Be grateful if you can help me move this channel forward. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.